All right, let's just jump right in. For the last year or so, the way we talk to AI has been, well, it's been through text, lots and lots of text. But what if that's about to completely change? What if the very foundation of how we interact with AI and the web itself is on the verge of a massive shift? We are absolutely moving beyond just words.
I mean, you've seen this, right? We've all been there. On the left is the reality today. You ask an AI for help, and you get back this giant, messy wall of text that you have to somehow decipher. It's frustrating. Now look at the right. This is where we're going. A beautiful, interactive little component right there inside your chat. You can click on it, you can play with it, you can actually get stuff done. It's a total game changer.
So, let's dig into why we have to move past this wall of text. It's not just annoying, it's a real problem for literally everyone involved. And here's the really fascinating part. Yeah, for us, for users, it's a clunky, not so great experience. But for brands, for companies, it's a huge, huge threat. Think about it. When a service like Shopify or Amazon gets boiled down to just plain text, they lose everything that makes them unique. Their brand, their design, the whole experience they've spent millions perfecting. They just become another generic line of text in a chat.
And that brings us to the solution. This is the hero of our story today, a brand new open protocol called MCP-UI. So what on earth is it? Okay, put really simply, MCP-UI is like a universal language. It lets apps send interactive little chunks of themselves. You can think of them like mini apps over a system called MCP, which stands for Multi-Component Protocol. It basically standardizes how these little mini apps can talk back and forth with the AI assistant, creating this really smooth two-way conversation.
And the beauty of this whole idea is that app providers don't have to start from scratch. They don't have to throw away all the amazing functional interfaces they've built over the years. No way. They can just break them down into smaller, bite-sized pieces and serve them up with this new protocol. It's an evolution, not a revolution, which is just so smart. And this isn't just some theory cooked up in a lab. Look at this list. We've got major players already jumping on board. We're talking Shopify, Postman, Hugging Face, 11 Labs. These companies are already building for this new world, which proves this has serious, real-world momentum happening right now.
Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. How does this magic trick actually work? How can a click inside a simple chat window actually trigger something complex out in the real world? This little diagram breaks it all down. It all starts with your prompt, what you type in. The AI calls a tool, and that tool's server, instead of sending back text, sends back this special UI resource. Your chat assistant, the host, grabs that and turns it into an interactive UI chunk on your screen. Then you interact with it. You click a button. That little chunk sends a clear message back to the host, which then figures out what to do next, like calling another tool to finish the job. It's a super clean and elegant loop.
Okay, now this is the part that is just wild. This quote says it all. In one of the demos, an app just had to ask the agent to analyze a task. And the agent, because it knew it was already logged into the user's Gmail, just went and found the right emails all by itself. The company that made the app didn't have to build some custom Gmail integration. The agent just handled it. It's incredible.
And the way that little UI chunk talks to the host is actually super sophisticated. For example, it can simply notify the host, hey, job's done. Or it can ask the host to trigger a very specific tool. It can even suggest a prompt for the AI to run, or, and this is the coolest one, it can send a high-level intent, which is basically saying, hey, the user wants to do this kind of thing, you're the smart one, you figure out how to do it. It gives developers so much flexibility. So let's zoom out, because this is the crucial takeaway. This isn't just a new piece of tech. This is a sign of a massive, massive shift in how the internet itself is put together. We are literally entering the age of the fragmented web. Just look at this comparison. On the left, that's the web you and I use every day. A dozen tabs open, each one its own separate little world. And we have to do all the mental gymnastics to connect the dots between them. On the right, that's the fragmented web. It's a single chat window where your personal assistant pulls in the pieces you need from all those different services and assembles them for you into one single logical experience. Let's walk through a quick story to make this feel real. Imagine you have an anniversary coming up. Your assistant is smart enough to see it on your calendar, and it proactively pops up this little Google Calendar chunk right in your chat. You haven't even had to think about it yet, and the task has already started. Then the assistant thinks, hey, an anniversary probably means they need a gift.
So without you even asking, it pulls a list of gift ideas from Amazon and displays them as a slick, interactive carousel right below the calendar. No opening a new tab, no searching, it's just there.
And to top it all off, since it knows the date, it pulls in some hotel listings and a map from Booking.com. And just like that, you've planned your entire anniversary, the calendar event, the gifts, the travel, all in one continuous conversation. You never once had to leave that chat window.
This quote just hits so hard once you see that example. When you really think about it, our current habit of bouncing between 10 different tabs and typing into 10 different search boxes, it suddenly seems so inefficient, almost archaic. This new way just feels inevitable.
Now, as incredible as this vision is, we have to be realistic. We're not quite there yet. There are still a couple of really important hurdles we need to get over before this becomes mainstream.
The two really big ones are authentication and native app support. First, how do we securely give these little UI chunks permission to access our private stuff, like our bank account or our private files? That's a huge security question. And second, how does all this work on your phone's native assistant, which might not be able to just render a web page? These are the really tough problems that the community is working on right now. But the ultimate goal, the North Star for all of this, is a world where the experience is totally seamless and totally secure. A world where one of these UI chunks can pop up and work perfectly, whether you're on your desktop computer or just talking to the AI on your phone. True cross-platform power. That's the endgame. Which, of course, brings us to the big final question. Is Jarvis just around the corner? You know, maybe not exactly like we saw in the movies, but with a standard like MCP-UI that lets an AI deconstruct and reassemble basically any app in the world on the fly, we are taking a giant leap towards that kind of powerful, truly helpful personal AI assistant.